How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right.
And I know all I do is win.
No matter what.
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we win.
Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we've been in it for a minute. We've been winning for a minute. It's essential. How you living? For God. It's essential. How you living? In your mind. It's essential. How you living? For freedom. It's essential. How you living? With Sabrina. It's essential. 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 It's essential.
Oh my God. Welcome to another riveting edition of Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina. I am your host, Dr. Sabrina. I am the people expert because I help people with people, even if that person is themselves. We are endeavoring on this podcast to talk about the fact that life and death lie in the power of your own tongue. And so, what are you saying to yourself, about your finances, about your relationships, about your business, about your job, just simply about your life? I am so fortunate that I know incredible people. Simply, it's no other way to put it. I know incredible people. So I get the opportunity to invite people in so that we can talk about things that they're doing in their lives and how they're impacting others' lives because they're busy speaking life. Whew, I'm so excited. So let's talk about what I've been doing and what I'm doing. What's going on? Let's get it in. Oh, yes. Okay. I have a business called the Nonprofit Creators, and the Nonprofit Creators has a new website entitled Nonprofit in a Day. Did you hear it? Nonprofit in a Day. I am so tremendously blessed that God downloaded to me how to do everything you need to do to create your 501c3 in a day, in one day. I can do it and have done it. It's amazing. So yes, go to the website, Nonprofit in a Day. What's next? Oh yes, this coming Saturday, May the 3rd, I am the keynote speaker at the Mental Health Summit in Pontiac. And the theme this year is from trauma to triumph. And so we want to make sure that we are in the building. It's from 12 to 4. We are going to be offering health screening, mental health screenings, depression screening, anxiety screening. We're going to have an amazing host. She is an incredible singer. Katrina Storm is hosting the event. And then we're going to have a comedy moment because, I believe that laughter is medicine for your soul. And then I'm going to talk about how do we move from trauma to triumph. And I have a new book that's coming out on Saturday. And guess what it's called? From Trauma to Triumph. It's a 30-day devotional that has guided journal questions, affirmations for each day, and prayer prompts. So it's not just you just reading a little bit and getting a little bit. It's some work for you to do because in order for you to get from where you are to where you want to be, there's going to take some work. I'm just saying. And then, do I have anything else? Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so Career Mastered is an amazing organization. They've been around, this year is 11 years, and they're having on Tuesday, May 20th, Network with the Masters. And yours truly is considered a master. What? So you can come out and network, but I have to say it's going to be at it's at the Detroit Athletic Club, I believe. That's where it's at.
Yes.
Yes, at the Detroit Athletic Club. And I'm talking about it, but y'all can't come because we sold out. We sold out already. I heard the other day we sold out. We can't sell another ticket. But I'm excited about it because this organization has been so pivotal in the lives of women who are in C-suites, and how we help each other to grow and expand and have a safe place to talk about all the trauma and shit that goes on in the corporate spaces. And so I write for their magazine. They have a national magazine called Career Mastered, and I write for that magazine. And this coming Thursday, we've been invited to ring the bell at the stock exchange. So I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ring the bell. Ain't that dope? That's so dope. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So today, like I tell you all the time, I know incredible people. So this first gentleman I got two men. You know, I like men. I'm just saying. They're both married men, though. Okay. So first is Johnny Williams, is the Chief Operating Officer of Lake Ridge Human Services, formerly known as Lake Ridge Village. The program provides counseling and housing to residents of Detroit and Wayne County. Lake Ridge houses an average of 70 people, where the core focus is mental health, spirituality, and transitioning back into the community, seeking quality of life. Jonathan holds a master's in social work with advanced specialist certifications in substance use and co-occurring disorders. Let me say this. I met this gentleman doing his thing. He was standing up. He was teaching. He had commanded the room. And the next gentleman is who put on the event. Oh my God, what an event. And so the next gentleman, he's been here before, so this is a repeat. He's back again, none other than my nephew. I've claimed him. And Johnny's my nephew too. I'm auntie to everybody. But Zeek Williams, y'all heard the name. He is the founder of New Era Detroit. And I think y'all need to change the name because it's a family movement, New Era Nation.
That's right.
Because it's not New Era Detroit anymore because you everywhere.
Yeah.
You're just getting back from Chicago. You're everywhere. He's everywhere. And this nation is designed exclusively to connect and develop urban communities worldwide. I love the word worldwide. The organization stands on 5 levels of accountability: self-accountability, household accountability, community accountability, economic accountability, and political accountability. Let me say this. If you ain't accountable first for yourself, you starting off wrong. You on the wrong side of the street. You're doing the wrong stuff. And what I love about this organization, they started with having the focus of in the community and helping the community with violence things and things of that nature. But now it's we were talking about trauma in the community, because when you have violence in the community, guess what comes with that? Trauma. And so he had an amazing event. I happen to have been fortunate to be the only female on the panel. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. And so we have these 2 gentlemen, and I just want to kind of kick the game today, and I want to talk about men. Because so often there are things that we hear and we see in our communities about men that we need to break that stereotype. And I think that what you 2 are doing is doing just that. You can be a man, because there's nothing about either of y'all that don't say man. I mean, really,
That's
it's
right.
nothing. It's nothing that don't say man. Both of you all have wives. You have children. Congratulations on the new baby.
Thank you.
Yes, the new baby daughter. I don't know, y'all making girls. Because Zeek got a little girl. He's got they capture your heart, don't they?
Oh my God!
Different type.
I laid eyes on her.
It's just an amazing. I'm a daddy's girl, so I know the connection that I had with my dad. And I remember when my dad was in hospice and he was about to make his transition. My daddy, I never saw my dad cry until then. Mm-hmm. And one night I was sleeping, and when I woke up, he was staring at me, and a tear rolled out his eye. And I'm thinking something's hurting or something's wrong. And I said, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" He says, "Nothing. You're just beautiful." I was in my 40s. And was like, "Oh my God!" I just lost it. But I think it's so imperative that you all are models for men in this community. So let me start with you, Zeek. Why the trauma and therapy in the community? Where did that event come from?
It just came from the necessity of, you know what I mean? When we talking about the work that we do in our community, we feel as a group and an organization like we pretty well rounded when we talk about the things that we address in regards to our people in our community. So for us, it's just making sure that we continue to put emphasis on the things that's needed in our community. And we can't talk about we building better, stronger Black communities if, you know, we not focusing in on the trauma that we go through as well. It's like you can't grow without being able to make sure the soil was good. So for us, it's just always making sure that we put those type of programs in place. And that's a program too. So that's something that we continue to run. Every other month we do something in that format, but just a little different to kind of change stuff up. But we appreciate, we really appreciate both of y'all for coming out. Y'all did an amazing job. It was a really, really dope program, and just looking forward to the next one, man. Y'all some good minds. Anytime that we do stuff, we try to bring, quality, resources to the community. And I feel like both of y'all are very, very dope resources, and really did a really dope job. Out there. Yeah, that day for sure.
That
a lot of good feedback.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was just fun. And what I really appreciated, Jonny, is when I was up talking, your son participated immediately.
I didn't expect that. I was so proud.
He just was like, "Well, wait, hold up."
I was so proud. I didn't expect him to say that. And then for me, I was proud because I'm trying to teach my children mental health and coping and emotional intelligence. And for him to have the confidence, because you were doing your thing.
I was doing my thing.
That boy did case, he raised his hand.
I loved it.
I looked too. I thought, what you about to say?
What you about to say?
His mother was so proud too. That was a beautiful moment.
It was a beautiful moment. And so many people, and I love that there were men and women in the room, because I think that men need to hear from women, and I think that women need to hear from men. Mm-hmm. And I think that, of course, men need to hear from men and vice versa. Women need to hear from women. But I love the mixture in the room, that it wasn't just one thing, because sometimes as women we need to hear what men are saying, that other men need to hear, so we can help reinforce that positively, and then vice versa. So I think we did a great job. What was your favorite thing about the event?
I'm going to say my favorite part about the event was what you mentioned already, was seeing men there. And for me, a little bit of my calling, I would sort of speak, is that there is a lot of men that are in need of support. And I believe that there's a lot of talk on what is to be a man, how to be a man, and what you need to do to be a man. It's all this loudness talk out here. And honestly speaking, I believe men speaking up about mental health the way that we did that day is going to help bring the men back and, help the community be strong. Because I am a believer of a strong man is a strong household. And a man that is in tune with his emotions, especially, and I said it in the meeting too, a emotional man that does not tend to his emotions is a dangerous man and a liability to the community. And because of that, how I feel is how I act. If I'm angry, I'm going to respond to the world with anger. If I'm confused, I'm going to, and we could just keep going with these things. But the most powerful point I'll say to answer your question was when these two dudes came up to me, and he just was, man, you have no idea what you did for me, what you said. And he shared a little bit. I'm not going to share the details of what he said, but there's power in a group when someone is saying, I've been through that too. And a lot of times we're holding on weight and shame and guilt, thinking that I'm the only one going through something, and there's a whole room feeling the same way you feeling.
Yes.
And the men being able to say that, man, I can't believe you said that. I feel this way. That's the power. That's what I enjoyed the most.
That was really good. It was really
beautiful.
good. And I just like that it was real men. It didn't feel staged or that somebody had a script. I know I didn't have a script.
Yeah, nah.
I just go off the dome all the time.
Well, that's a new era event, so we ain't. Only thing we gonna bring to the table is authentic, real. I mean, that's all people know us for, is being able to bring that real. So we only mess with real people. We knew exactly what was gonna happen, when we had both of you guys come. And then once again, Jason was just an addition. He just popped up on us. So it was a lot of, I would hate to not been in that room, because it was a lot of knowledge in that room. And I felt like a lot of people could have benefited from being in that room for sure.
So did you tape it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so what are you doing with the tape?
It's out. It's either on YouTube already, or it's gonna be on YouTube. We put everything out on YouTube.
Okay.
But just clips, because we want people to continue to come out and support and get involved too as well. So we'll have some of the highlights if it's not up there already. I believe it may be though.
So this is me. This is Auntie. I think you should take it and make it a thing that people can purchase. And the people who purchase it, because that goes back into your funding source.
Yeah.
It's because, everybody can't come.
Yeah,
There's some people that can't get out. There's some people that could still benefit from it that aren't even local.
Yeah, no, true.
That you can. I am real big on selling things. I am, because we as a people do amazing things, but we don't sell it.
Yeah.
And we can.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to benefit people.
I'm with you.
And then maybe we can get together like me and Johnny and put together like a little PDF that goes with it.
Yeah.
I'll be down for that.
I'll be down for that. I'll do it for Zeek.
And we put stuff out. We got our things that we do sell, man. But I feel like one of the good things about us is people always know that they can come, because we really serve and service people. A lot of the people who just ain't got, you know what I mean? It's like, people forget it's a whole world out there of people who just ain't got. Like, seriously, people just trying to figure stuff out from day to day, like how they gonna feed themselves, feed their family. Of course, there's a class of people who do got and will go out and purchase some stuff. But our focus has always been able to get the game. A lot of people say, the game is to be sold and not told. I'm the opposite of that, and I don't gatekeep or do none of that. I feel like whatever we got, we give, and we'll get blessed on the back end financially. It's always been like that for us.
Reap what you sow.
You do.
Reap what you sow.
I am, but I say all the time that there are so many things that we can do. Because like when you talk about New Era Nation, and that's not just the nation, it's global and worldwide, that there's somebody sitting in a place, maybe in Kenya, that can hear clips of what you did and then put something together that they can duplicate it in such a way that it becomes a teaching. It becomes this is the thing that I've learned just in doing what I do and being able to do it all over the place, is that there are people who want to learn from what I do. I can't duplicate myself so much because it's just me. But if I put together a curriculum or a class or something like that, it helps and broadens the message.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it broadens the message.
What programming?
Programming, absolutely. So let me ask this question, because I know that when we start talking about mental health and men, what do you think is the number one thing men really need to grasp hold of when it comes to mental health? And
Well, for me, what I explain is, first, it's kind of almost like a program, so to speak. The first thing is you have to identify self. Self is the cornerstone. What is wrong? What am I feeling? What have I been through? Many of us men, and it's a people thing too, we have experiences, and negative experiences, adverse childhood experiences, traumatic experiences. Many people think you need to see guns blazing to be traumatized. Poverty is trauma. You know, waking up with mouse, roaches, and all of that. Poverty, neglect, abuse. There's so many things that happen in our community that men are, I believe, are programmed to just keep going. There isn't a time of reflection on how this experience impacted me. And what happens is we carry resentments, anger, and that's why a lot of times you see with men, anger is the first emotion for every interaction that comes our way. So the first step is self. Next piece is life is gonna do what life is gonna do.
Life be life.
I can talk to you about trauma and what you've been through all day, every day, but tomorrow another situation may come. Tomorrow another incident can come. And if you don't have the skill set, and I use these words, skill set, to cope when things come your way, learning certain things. Some people listen to music, some people talk to themselves, some people go on a walk, some people exercise. What I try to tell men is, though, what are you gonna do when you're ready to pop?
right.
And for most men, it's drinking or smoking or escape. There isn't a actual skill to address the behavior or pattern of what you're going through. So emotional intelligence, know what you're seeing, know what you're feeling, and then know how to check it. So I don't need you to be, I tell my guys all the time, I don't need a recovery Build-A-Bear. I don't need a perfect person. I don't need that. I don't need you to be Batman or Superman. I don't need you to walk around, because I think sometimes with therapy, it seems like the goal is to make you this perfect person.
There's no such thing
There's
as
no
perfect.
such thing. The point is helping you get the quality of life that you want, but let's address these behaviors that you said keeps holding you back.
It's so funny that you even say that, because I was listening to, I'm a Bible girl, you know I'm a Bible girl, but I was listening to a sermon about Moses and how Moses did not get in the promised land because he hit the rock. God told him to speak to a rock. And I had never heard the sermon put this way. He said, I'm sure in Moses' head, he was like, why would I speak to something that don't have ears? Why am I speaking to a rock? I can hit the rock. You the one who gave me this, this staff. I should be able to hit the rock. He says, but in Exodus, there were 2 incidents where Moses was dealing with anger, and he never addressed it. He had killed a man, never addressed it. And so sometimes little things, which murdering a man ain't a little thing, but these things happen and they compound. And so because he didn't address the little thing, it became a big thing, and now it affected him for the rest of his life. He could not go where he was able to bring everybody else to go.
Exactly.
And so a lot of times when those small things happen, we need to do things to address it. So one, we got to own it. That's why I love the self-awareness piece, because if my problem is anger, I need to
day in and day out.
Yeah, I need to say to myself, if my problem is lying, if my problem is cheating, if whatever my problem is, I have to heal from that.
A word I use too is I use management. I gotta manage it. So my anger, I am not my anger, but I know that it's there. And there's gonna be somebody that's gonna irritate me. There's gonna be some frustration. There's gonna be somebody that says something off to me. I can't respond my usual way. So once I know that anger is brewing up, I got multiple things at play that most people don't even peep when I'm doing it. I be in the corner, put some side A on, you won't even know it. I keep my little earbuds, pop side A on, breathe for a quick second when your mind is going.
Yes.
And I keep trying to teach men that skill set, because starting at, and I had to check myself with my own children, with my own sons. The boy is crying, you and man would be you all right, but then the girl, you want to run and tend to the girl.
Yes.
And I had to check myself. That boy it should be allowed to have his same emotions as well. But no, you okay? You big boys don't cry, and we start that so young,
early.
We truly, and I'm a therapist. And I'm telling you,
sometimes we're the worst.
I'm telling you, and now that I have different genders going on, I never peeped
that you were doing that.
It's bias. Yeah. The girl will cry, and I'm gonna tell you now, babies, I love it. I'm a kid guy.
Okay,
I like kids. Babies are crying to get a little, but the baby girl crying, I got more patience than my 17-month-old. Why is that? He a boy. That in that moment, I had to check myself. Why am I going, he a baby? What's the difference? They both babies.
Right.
But I'm putting more on the boy.
Right. And it continues to matriculate as they get older. Because I know I was talking about, remember the story about the lady who had sex with her teenage student? She wound up marrying him and having 2 children by him, and she went to prison and all of that. I was on a radio show with a panel of men. I was the only woman. And one of the men said jokingly, well, where were those teachers at when I was in high school? And all the men laughed. And I said, that is deplorable.
That's the problem.
Because if it were your daughter,
you'd be ready to burn out.
You'd be ready to burn the house down. But because it's your son, you like, oh yeah, that's a notch in his belt. Yes. No, we have to have same standards.
Yeah, and I think that also, and just putting everything into perspective, I believe that there are a lot of double standards, that exist that just absolutely shouldn't exist, and it's just like barbaric manhood that puts these things into position. But still, just on that same account, because I got a son and a daughter too, so I kind of look at things a bit different too. But also in this world, we just live in a different type of world where we want to be able to tap into the kids' emotions, especially young men. But this world, I gotta also prepare my son for the type of world that he's gonna be in. And as a man, that preparation looks a bit different than it does with preparing a little girl. I mean, you have to prepare them both, but when it comes down to it, Jason and I just did a podcast, and he was talking about when we talking about kids, and the difference between like really the boys when we talk about like the toxic masculinity or whatever that the case may be, but really looking at some of the things that that the kids is going to grow up and experience. Like with having a boy, he's going to experience a different type of world than what having a girl is. And then also when we talk about toxic masculinity, everybody be like, oh, that's this and we don't want that. But at the end of the day, if you got a son and somebody come in and do something, you're going to want your son to have a certain level of masculinity. You're going to want them not to just be like, oh, well, you're going to want that. You're going to want your man, your kid to understand how to grow up and be a man. And that's the line in this era that I feel like we kind of teetering, because we kind of grew up in the era where our fathers was just pound, pound, pound. You know what I mean? You got to do this. They was very on. That's how my father was. And I'm trying to find a line between, giving that emotional support, but also making sure that we, have an understanding of like you gonna grow up to be a man, and that's what's lacking out here. To be honest with you, we talk about all of this the therapy and stuff between men. It's just like also a big issue is we don't see it. So that's why when we out in the community and we do stuff in a way, I just want to be an example of like, okay, he ain't no rapper, he ain't no basketball player, he ain't know this, he ain't know that. He community, he's just a community guy, and he's exuding what it is to be a man. It don't have to be the flashy, entertainment life that a lot of kids look to. Because a lot of these guys, they not all the way shaped up, or unless they would be moving different. But for me, we need to see more men being men out in the community and not just, in our household, because a lot of these households don't have that. Men. So other men that are in that position that can give that out to the community, that's why we be so hard on men. Like, come out, get involved, let the kids see what a man look like, out in the community. You know what I mean? Like, we can talk about what we need to be and what we need to do, but nothing is more powerful than being able to show kids like this is what a real man is and what he's supposed to do is more than just being protectors and providers, but you want to be able to stand on business, be able to learn yourself so that you can tap into different emotions, because I feel like all of this stuff is just truly learning yourself and not getting direction for the world. Everybody think they got all the answers for this, that, and the third, but the true answer is always within you. You gotta find that answer that's gonna work for you. But in that quest to find that answer that's gonna work for you, you gotta have the right influences around. So you gotta put the right pieces of the puzzle around so that you can complete your whole puzzle, so you can be whole.
That is so good. It's one of the things that I think about, because I am a single mother, and I think I did a tremendous job. My son is an amazing young man. I tell him all the time, if I did not know him, he would be someone I would want to know, because he is on business. Yeah. He's a for real man. He'll stand 10 toes down, let's go. But he knows how to talk to anybody, from the homeless person on the street to the hood person to the president. And so I love that he has that variety in him. But I remember at 17, something happened that as women, we need to allow our boys to become men and not jump in and do everything for them. So when my father was passing, my son was in a statewide basketball tournament, and he was the starting point guard. And so they had practice one night, but he didn't go because he didn't know if his grandfather was going to pass that night. And so he stayed home. And he went to school the next day. The coach went off on him. And my son came home and told me, and so as he's talking, I'm grabbing my keys and my purse because I'm going to see the coach. And my son said to me at 17, he says, "No, I don't need you to go, because if you go, you can say whatever you want to say to him, but when you leave, I still got to deal with it. So let me deal with it." And so he went on back. They won the state championship. Everything was good. And then that summer, he called me one day and he says, prayer really works. And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "My coach got a new job." So it's sometimes we can't always jump in and be the protector, especially if we're teaching them. Because I used to always tell them, because you are going to be a man, you have a right to your opinion. You have a right to express your opinion, but it's how you do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to cuss everybody out every time. You don't have to, do all that vibrato, but you can stand on what you believe.
Yeah. And a little piece to it too, and Zeek hit on that. That's where the balance with being a father becomes so difficult. You're trying to be mindful of the emotions, but also I'm trying to raise boys, black boys, at that too. So, and I remember constant times, how many times my dad got in on me and he said, "I'm doing this because I have to, not because I want to." I lost count how many times that he said that. And now when you think of, you want the man to be the leader of his home, how can the leader lead if he doesn't know how to endure?
That's right.
How can he lead the children, the wife, if he doesn't know how to respond to adversity? And then one piece my father always told me too, a man does what exactly he says he's going to do.
Come on.
And that's part of the reason why he said it too. Representation. Zeke's part of the reason why I got on the internet, because I wasn't going to do it.
He was telling us.
He the reason why I did it. I wasn't going to do it. I said I don't. The way the internet is, but representation matters. And right now, I do believe black men, I think we're taking more control of it,
of the narrative.
I think we, for some time, we had a media issue. I think we had a representation issue. Everything, only time I saw myself, it was whether he was a dope boy in the streets or it was always something criminal. It wasn't something positive or
flashy.
It wasn't just everyday watching, so to speak. And that's why when I go to work, one thing I remember watching my father wear a suit. If you know my dad used to,
yes, I
saw him dressed
Love
down,
your dad.
something is going on.
Yes.
Or you caught him out in the sticks running the errand. He always has a suit on, and what he taught me was how people see you is how they're going to treat you. So when I would wear suits, the young boys in my program, the respect that they had, they would come up, what do you do? They don't even know my name or what I was. They didn't even know I was pastor's son, but they knew by just the way I would step into the room that it demanded presence. And I growing up, I just remember seeing a lot of men like that. I remember seeing a man walk in the room and you just, man, it looked like he a big dog.
He looked like he's somebody.
He looked like he's somebody. And then the way he carried himself, the way he speaks, the way, and I keep saying it, but I always just know it's what I say I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. It's not a matter of if, it's when. And that's a dangerous thing when a black man is able to do that. When I say I'm going to do something, when an idea pops in my mind, I'm going to make it happen. That's right. And that happens through guidance, through other black men leading you, teaching you. So representation is everything in this.
Well, the thing that I really want to say that I appreciate is that even though you stand in what you do in the community and people know when you see Zeek coming, he coming. And when you invite Jonny out to speak, he's speaking. But what I can appreciate about you gentlemen is that you are always open to feedback.
Yeah.
Because how do you get better at anything if can't nobody tell you nothing?
Yeah.
And none of us gets it right all the time. And so I want to think about some of the shows that are out now that are really highlighting men talking to other men, like The Chi. The Chi has episodes now where the men get together, just all of them, and just kind of talk about what's going on. And one of the questions that I love that I hear is, how can I help you with that? Because a lot of times when we're helpers, helpers, we don't know how to ask for help. We don't. I know I'm a helper. I could be crawling up in a cocoon, ain't saying nothing.
Right.
But I love that it has that element of it, so that, like you say, people can see that it's okay to ask for help. Yeah. So what things do we need to do to let the community know, especially men, black men, that it's okay to ask for help?
You gotta live it. I think one of the biggest issues that I have is, especially with the social media era we're in, everything's flash. Everything looks good. It's not genuine. It's not real. I see some of these, and there's no diss to therapists on it, but they get to talking all these big book knowledge concepts and all these things, and it sounds cool for them. But did that client actually understand what you just said?
Right.
Did you bring it down to how they can understand? And then I'm a believer of, to be a helper, I've experienced some of these things, and I've been across the chair. So someone helped me. So I know what it's like for someone to speak life into me and guide me. I'm not just up here just talking. I know the sensitivities when someone shares something to you and you just get to talking. See, helpers sometimes just get to talking.
Yep, you got to learn how to listen.
You got to learn how to stop talking. And, and then most of the time, the individual figures it out on their own, just guiding them. Absolutely. You don't need to say all these statements.
You ain't got to do all that.
Just how did it make you feel? And then what happened? And then that happened. Then what did you do after that? And they keep and then they find the answer on themselves. So I'm a big believer, and there's a quote, my favorite, Nipsey Hussle would say, "I'm just another flawed human trying to get this thing right." Mm-hmm. And I practice or attempt to practice what I preach. Ooh. But what we got now is a lot of people sound good. Yeah. They got the cliches, they got the flash, they got the suits, they got everything, but they're not living it. Or when someone calls to be a helper too, is my phone. I got my phone's on 24/7. Are you really going to answer that call when the people need you, when there's no money involved?
When there's no camera.
When there's no cloud involved. When there's no media opportunity. You're in the middle of the hood just speaking to some people. Yeah. Are you willing to do that? That's the piece, that more helpers need to.
Do you think it's important for people to have mentors?
Of course. I don't know how I can do it without one.
I absolutely think that it's important, for people to have mentors, and then also, making sure. I just kind of double back on, what Jonny was talking about in the last question, but just making sure that we have an understanding too, like when we dealing with a lot of these issues and regarding men in particular, we got to make sure that they have an understanding of what you're doing is real. Because the problem with black men in particularly, they think everything is BS. Like they, oh man, I heard that, I seen that. Yeah, he came to talk to me before, but I ain't seen him afterwards. The real life approach is different. That's why with our engagement programs that we do all across the country, it's the handshakes, it's the embracement. It's the looking people that you don't even know in their community, on their block, in front of their house, in the face, like I'm here. How many times I see, oh man, I just seen you on the internet, mm-hmm. but man, you right here for real. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. Like there's a lot of people on the internet, a whole lot,
but you don't see them walking up and down your street.
I'm tell you what, my people. Not just in this city, man, but across the country, they believe in us because they know we real. They know that they can feel us, they know they can touch us, and they know that to be in a position where we come to your block and we come to your neighborhood to talk to you about your issues and your problems outside of the internet, or message me or call me or set up an appointment, we right there in the mix. So we need more of that. We need more of that real feel in order to get people to buy in and believe. And even the process of, okay, I can't ask for help. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel comfortable enough that this is real enough so that I can ask for help. And I trust them, to not abuse whatever it is that we ask for. Because as men, me and my guys had this conversation all the time. It's just the pride too. It's just like, it's hard for us to ask for stuff. It's just, we all in our pride. Man, if I ask for this, they gonna think I'm less than a man. They not gonna think I got my,
my
X, Y, and Z together.
Uh-huh.
So, we deal with a lot. Men are very, very, people say that we can either be simple or we can be complex. I mean, it depends on what attribute of that man that you're actually talking about. But with men and women, the thing that I feel like we have to understand right now in this whole world of debating men and women is that we are two different, we just different, and it's okay if we don't know everything about the next one. Like, oh, I know that men do this, they get on my nerves when we do this, women the same. It's like we got to be okay with our differences. And then we have to also understand that all of those things make us great. Let's work on the things that we have in common, and then let's build on those opposed to, nitpicking at the things that we are different about. I just wanted to add that, but just, all realness, we just got to be more real. People see you on the internet. You can be whoever you want to be on that thing. Whoever.
And lie.
Whoever
you want to be.
And don't live the life that you
claiming you live. Live. Absolutely. I love that statement about the whole male and female thing, because we are different. I used to, because I'm a single mother, on Father's Day, I would have people text me, Happy Father's Day. And I would text them back, I'm not a father. Mm-hmm. I'm not a father. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm a mother who did mother stuff, and then I drew in other support entities to assist me with my son, because there were things about being a man that I don't know, I don't want to know, and I can't teach it, and didn't try to. So I think it's important that we understand our different roles and how, God just really made us different. But then also in our relationships, and Zeek and I have talked about this before, that we should do something specifically for couples. Because since the pandemic, there's been a huge amount of domestic violence situations going on. And so just like there's trauma and all kind of violence, but specifically with couples. Couples need to know how to deal with their differences, because opposites attract for a reason. And if you can't understand how to communicate with that opposite, it's going to continue to always be a clash. So, my wonderful little program there, Essential Colors, I have a piece for couples, and it's a coloring activity. It's coloring.
Yeah.
Because we need to have some levity and some fun as well as we're learning. Because these are some tough issues, but I just believe when you can bring some levity to it and some light to it, then we can shine a light on it more effectively.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the piece too, a little bit with that family piece, and I agree with Zeke. I'm so tired of that though. Just the content of the man versus woman. But I also believe pardon me, conspiracy theories, whatever. But I think it's deliberate at times because family is the cornerstone. It's of everything.
Everything.
It's finances.
Everything.
It's making sure our children develop properly. Every benefit that you can find from a two-parent household is within a two-parent household. And then us being black, sitting here arguing man versus woman, what outcome comes from that? We don't be together. We don't marry. We don't stay together. Who gets negatively impacted by that? The nation.
Yes.
There's no nation without family.
Yes.
So, I used to I really, especially with how all the content is with all that man versus woman, I didn't even want to ever even have a conversation on couples because it's so just...
But it doesn't have to be.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be.
Tell myself that,
it doesn't have to be. My thing is, if you want something different, then do it.
Then do it.
We just need to do it. We should have something with couples where couples can talk and ask questions and then lead them and leave them with tools, tips, and strategies on how to do it differently in their home. I don't know if you've ever seen it's a thing called Love Dare. Love Dare. I love Dare. Love Dare is a 40-day challenge for couples. And what I love about it is each day, each person has a thing that they need to do. They have to do that day, and they have to journal about it. And then at the end of the day, they come together and talk about it. Because how I see the assignment may be totally different than how you see the assignment, and it's the same assignment. And so at the end of the 40 days, it is just phenomenal. But what I've done, because I've seen how powerful it can be for couples, I've taken it and created a 40-day challenge for families. So if I'm a parent with my kid, or I'm two siblings, just things we can do in the family to make sure that love is there at its core. And how do you communicate it and how do you deal with it?
Yeah.
Give my wife some ideas now.
And too, just like the core of all of that too is just self-love too. I feel like, when you go into any situation and you have a certain level of love for yourself, you got to have love to give love and to spread love. And I feel like a lot of people, don't even love themselves, and not, further than that, a lot of people don't even know who they are because they chasing the image of. Everything is the image of. You get on this phone and you look at all of these fake couples and say that's the image of. This is what we gotta be.
And then 2 weeks later,
you get on these apps and you see somebody with a nice looking body and this is the body. This is what we gotta chase, and you don't even know who you are as an individual because we so busy chasing what the rest of the world is telling us what we supposed to be. So we bring that into everything, our friendships, our relationships, everything. In fact, we don't even look ourselves in the mirror and know who we are as an individual, and that is the root of all of these issues that we talking about. It's like we can't love properly. We don't love ourselves. A lot of people, get into relationships to figure out how to love themselves, and that's really
dangerous.
Be alone.
Yeah, that's really the wrong.
You gotta learn how to be alone. When I tell you, when I close that door, oh my God, I love me. Let me tell you what I love about my home. I love my home because I have mirrors. Because I love when I walk past a mirror and I go, oh, hey girl, hey girl, because I like me. I like the package that I'm in. I like all this dripping chocolate. I like it. And because I like it, I believe that I draw people into my orbit who like it too. They may not trying to rub on all the chocolate, but there's something about my essence that draws people.
Right. One thing I'll say quickly, what I learned was, from my experience, the law of attraction. You are what you attract.
Yes.
Your partner is the representation of who you are. And from personal experience, don't know how to be alone, don't know how to deal with loneliness. You attach yourself to escape the loneliness, and that person is doing nothing but just taking from you. And we force relationships a lot of time instead of being alone for the right person to come our way.
Oh my God, my son told me something. I think he was graduating from his master's program, and when he was graduating, I asked him, could an ex-boyfriend of mine who he knew, he called and asked could he come, and I says, well, can he come to the graduation? He says, yeah, he can come. He can't come with you. And I says, because in my mind, this is just keeping it 100. I said, well, if he do, he could pay for this, he could pay for that, and I won't have to pay for it. He said, you said that you want to be found by who God has for you. What if you got him in the space and the person comes and think the space is taken? I was like, ouch, ouch. So yeah, I raised that one. But oh my God. So we can't say we want one thing. Yeah.
But
and then do
the
actions something different.
Yeah.
And we ignore those red flags.
Somebody say, please don't stop collecting red flags. A red flag is a red flag for a reason. We ignore it and put it in the back seat.
Yeah, because we want to be comfortable with having someone in our presence in the moment.
I'm telling you, I can't do it. Like tonight, I'm going to an event, and it's an amazing event. I'm going to have on a gown. I'm going to do all of that, and I'm going by myself. I'm on the dais, but I'm going by myself because no one has presented themselves to be worthy yet to be on that side, on that stage with me.
That's right.
But it's the boundary you establish.
Oh my God, yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, one of the things, okay, so wait a minute. I love that I have men in the room. So what does it mean when a man says to me, oh, I'm out of my league?
I don't know. I feel like real men don't say nothing like that.
Thank you.
To be honest with you.
Thank you. Soon as you say you out of my league, or why would somebody like you want to date someone like me? Well, what the fuck wrong with you?
Sound like he's setting up a play, trying to see how you're gonna respond to that. To me, because if you draw back from, I'm trying to test the waters to see if you're gonna accept that comment I just made.
Yeah, but the thing is,
it's a turn off to me. Major turn off.
Yeah, I know the real sister gonna want that. You know, the thing about women is too. You know, women love confidence. So if you coming from a perspective of, you out my league, you already a point off. You know, so it's just like, yeah, I am, but I am out your league. If you say so, I'm gonna go with what you say because I don't know you.
I don't know you. Yeah, I'm just going to go on about my business because I can't spend my time convincing you that you're enough to date me.
And then you expect a woman to be led off that, and you're not even confident in yourself.
Nah, it's never gonna work.
I'm you to lead my life, and you're not even confident to even step up to me.
No, cannot do it. I love this conversation. I really do. I love being able to talk about things that our community and our men and our women need to hear. One of the things that I said at the event is that women sometimes are the greatest assault to the man because we say things and do things that tear them down. And so if you're going to have a man in your life and he your man, then treat him like he your man.
Can I say one thing real quick to that? I often say to a lot of women, and we talk about double standards, but just for men, words from a woman cut deep, just like you put your hands on a woman. Like a man putting his hands on a woman's words to a man is the same thing. Yeah. We operate off words, and words matter. And when you say things like you never do this, you ain't this, and you ain't that, that psyche, especially for men, when we hear that in the media 24/7. So it's important I'm glad you mentioned that, for women to speak life into us.
Yes.
Every day I step out, the world is against me. I see nothing but stories against black men 24/7. As soon as I wake up, the number one voice that when my wife speaks life into me, I'm ready to take on the whole day. My mama called me after. Oh yeah, I'm powered up now. Yes. Powered up now. Take on anything. So words, especially from women, our women matter.
That is why I have the topic or the title of this podcast, Speaking Life. We have to speak life. Too often we are dogging people, we're dogging ourselves, we don't forgive ourselves, all that negativity, then you're going to walk out of the world and get beat up by more negativity.
Law of attraction.
Oh my God, yes.
What I think is what I get. If I'm negative, that's what I shall receive.
And don't put there's no price tag on your energy. Don't never compromise your energy for nothing. And that's the thing. Like, when people come around, do the energy. Always, your energy never lie. People know that's what a lot of people call these days red flags, but your energy is everything. I can walk in a room and immediately know who I'm dealing with, who I'm not dealing with. And that's what we have to believe in more than anything. If we looking for greatness in life, we looking for a partner, we looking for business relationship, friendships, whatever it is, it's all about energy. If the energy ain't right, and we all know when the energy ain't right.
We know.
So, you want to force something just because you're trying to put yourself in a different situation or whatever, then that's just what it is. But I just want to say, never compromise I never compromise my energy. If it ain't right, you ain't going to see me. Never.
You ain't going to see him. Jonny, how people find you if they want you, since you on social media now because of Zeek?
That's right.
You can find me Jonny Detroit Therapy, so it's JONNY_Detroit Therapy. You can also find us on Life on the Ridge podcast. Our website is lakeridgehumanservices.org.
Lovely. Zeek, where folks find you?
Jonny a bad man too.
Yes, he is. He a bad man.
I told him you gotta get on that. You gotta get on that thing, man. And show, because once
people
again,
need to see him.
We need more black men.
In this space
to give that other type of energy. Yeah. But with us, Newer Detroit everywhere. You just put that thing on Google. And then, however, you want to connect with us, or pop right up. But we about to get busy. It's the summertime. We got Hood to Hood kickoff May 3rd. That's one of the biggest community engagement programs in the world. So for us, kicking off here in the city of Detroit, our 117th neighborhood, this Saturday at 11 a.m. On Puritan and Schaefer. But
how long you gonna be there?
We're gonna be there. We're gonna be 11? Moving around in the community, so you need to get there between 11 and noon, because noon we'll be up the block. You're gonna have to come find us, because we're gonna be hitting them doors. We're gonna be engaging.
I love it.
Yeah, we outside 117 neighborhoods we did here in the city of Detroit alone. Not to talk about all across the country. So we very active. So we ready to get busy. My energy high right now. I'm just trying to get everything ready for a very, very long summer.
I want to say that what I also appreciate about you gentlemen is that you are a model, that you have your women with you.
Yeah.
That you like, this is my wife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This my queen. I love it. And because men need to see that as well. Mm-hmm. They see how you show up, when something happens in the community and y'all looking for somebody and all of that, but still there is that other side to you, that I do have a partner in this thing, and we do have a family, and this is what we do for our family. I love the pictures from your vacation.
Yeah.
Where were y'all?
We in the Maldives.
They was in the Maldives. I want to go to the Maldives. It was so good.
Yeah.
So people need to see that too, and the real part of it. Yeah, I work hard, but I play hard.
Yeah, yeah.
If I could say
Yes.
one thing, and I learned this from my mother, taught me this. You can tell the power of a man through his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And how I got connected through Zeek, his wife invited me to we were doing an event a long time ago, and his wife identified me. And through seeing how she moved and everything, this guy right. And then as soon as I met him, I'm like, oh yeah, we locked in. But you can tell through how he loves on his wife, how he responds, how he looks, and how she look. You can tell there's power.
There's
in that.
power.
I don't go nowhere without my wife,
Especially
as a helper. I don't go nowhere.
So I need my nephews. These are my nephews. These are my nephews. They need to be prayed. They need to touch and agree that, somebody, my king, I need my king. Because I'm out here in these streets, but I'm out here in these streets by myself. And I don't want to be by myself. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with Auntie today.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Love y'all. And it's nothing y'all can't ask me for that I ain't coming to do. That's
real. And we appreciate it.
And you know that. You know when you call me, I'm coming. And so, you know what I say at the end of the show, every show, I want you to spend this week speaking life to your life. I want you to say something positive to yourself about yourself. I got an affirmation that I've been saying, so I want to read it real quickly. Let me find it. Here it goes. It says, I am the highest expression of divine genius and intelligence, given as a gift to humanity for such a time as this. I am the highest expression of divine genius and intelligence. That means that what comes through me is enough. That's right. Given as a gift to humanity for such a time as this. There's a reason why we're on the planet at this time, at this moment, because of all the stuff that's going on right now. We are an answer to a problem. We are the key to unlock somebody else's prison.
That's right.
I love y'all. See y'all next week.
How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right.
I know all I do is win.
No matter what.
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we win.
Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we've been in it for a minute. We've been winning.